Persistence is often hailed as the ultimate key to success. We've heard it repeatedly: keep going, never give up. But what does persistence really mean in practice, especially when the odds are stacked against you? Today, we'll explore not just the usual advice, but we'll challenge conventional wisdom and reveal principles you may not have considered. Stick around for a specific plan that you can use today to cultivate persistence and set yourself on the path to wealth and success. The dominant narrative. Persistence as sheer grit. The traditional idea of persistence is rooted in sheer determination. Keep pushing through no matter how difficult it gets. This mindset works to an extent. We see successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders who refuse to quit, even when facing repeated failures. Their grit and willingness to stay the course despite obstacles are inspiring. And yes, this type of persistence is essential, especially in a world where setbacks are inevitable. But here's where things get interesting. What if persistence, as we commonly understand it, is incomplete? What if sheer grit isn't enough? Challenging the status quo. The adaptive persistence mindset. Let's flip the script for a moment. What if persistence wasn't just about grinding through adversity, but knowing when to pivot, adapt, and evolve? This is where we introduce the concept of adaptive persistence. It's not about banging your head against the same wall, but recognizing when to try a different path, innovate, or rethink your approach. For example, take the story of Steve Jobs. Many talk about his persistence in the face of failure, but his willingness to adapt is often overlooked. After being fired from Apple, he didn't stubbornly stick to the same methods that got him in trouble. Instead, he learned, evolved, and eventually returned stronger, taking Apple to unprecedented heights. That's adaptive persistence, knowing when to shift gears without losing sight of the bigger vision. In contrast, please think of the countless people who exhaust themselves doing the same thing repeatedly, hoping for a different result. That's the danger of traditional persistence. At some point, stubbornness can become the enemy of progress. Principle 1. Flexibility is the ultimate form of persistence. Rigid persistence is often glorified, but flexibility is more powerful. Flexibility allows you to approach problems from different angles, pivot when necessary, and evolve with the changing landscape. Persistence isn't just about pushing through a challenge. It's about being adaptable enough to recognize when the challenge has changed. Take the modern economy, for instance. 10 years ago, many industries were dominated by a few key players with traditional business models. Today, disruptors like Uber, Airbnb, and cryptocurrency have flipped the script. The people who thrived weren't the ones who clung to old ways of thinking. They were the ones who adapted to change. So here's the takeaway. Persistence doesn't mean unyielding. It means being flexible enough to change course while keeping your ultimate goal in sight. Principle 2. Persistence requires rest and reflection. Another myth about persistence is that it's all about non-stop action. We hear slogans like hustle 24/7 or sleep when you're dead. Still, this narrative ignores an important truth. Persistence without reflection and rest leads to burnout, not success. Consider high-performing athletes. They don't train non-stop. They take time to rest, recover, and analyze their performance. This downtime allows them to come back stronger. Similarly, constant grinding without reflection on business or personal goals will exhaust you. It would be best to have time to step back, evaluate what's working, and recharge. By reflecting, you can see the bigger picture, assess whether your strategy is effective, and make necessary adjustments. Many people overlook this hidden aspect of persistence. Real progress comes when you balance effort with recovery. Principle 3. Focus on process, not outcomes. A final point to challenge the typical narrative is the obsession with outcomes. Society often equates success with reaching a specific goal, earning a certain amount of money, or landing a dream job. However, focusing solely on the end goal can sap your persistence. It sets you up for constant disappointment if the outcome isn't immediate. Instead, the most successful people focus on the process. You build momentum by committing to the day-to-day actions, routines, and habits that move you forward. The irony is that the more you focus on the process, the more likely you will achieve the outcome. Persistence then becomes not about enduring a long journey toward a distant goal, but about showing up consistently, day in and day out, for the small steps. The action plan. building persistence to achieve wealth and success. Now, let's break down a specific, actionable plan to grow your persistence and use it to achieve wealth and success. Set micro goals. Don't just aim for the million-dollar business, break it down. What are the weekly or even daily actions that will get you there? This might mean saving a certain amount each week, building a business plan, or investing in your skills. Track your progress. Persistence is easier when seeing how far you've come. Use a journal or an app to document your efforts. Tracking even small wins builds momentum and keeps your energy focused. Schedule regular reflection time. Every week, set aside at least 30 minutes to evaluate your progress. Are you moving in the right direction? If not, what needs to change? This habit of reflection will help you stay adaptable and persistent. Learn from failure, but don't dwell on it. Don't just push through blindly when you hit a roadblock. Take a step back and analyze what went wrong. Did your approach need tweaking? Was the goal unrealistic? Use failure as a data point, not a dead end. Build a support system. Persistence isn't a solo endeavor. Surround yourself with people who encourage, challenge, and hold you accountable. Whether it's a mentor, a mastermind group, or a supportive partner, having a community can make all the difference. Take care of your body and mind. Remember, persistence requires energy. Ensure you get enough sleep, eat well, and take breaks. A well-rested mind is a resilient one. Final thoughts. Persistence is a mindset, not a marathon. Ultimately, persistence is about more than how long you can keep grinding. It's about the mindset you cultivate. By staying flexible, reflecting regularly, focusing on the process, and taking care of yourself, you'll build the persistence that helps you survive obstacles and thrive in any situation. We often think of persistence as brute force, but it's about strategy, reflection, and resilience. Follow these steps to grow your persistence and set yourself on the path to lasting wealth and success. Now go out there and make it happen. If you would like another video that goes deeper into persistence, especially discussing how mindset greatly affects persistence, let me know in the comments.